I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll call this part 1. In part 2, we'll open this program back up and play with Capcut a little more. How about them apples? Good day, viewers. Pwalpar here. As part 1 ends, I begin part 2. We will continue playing around with Capcut Video Editor. We will be looking at the same train, but today we'll take a look at it from the perspective of a rail car inspector. We'll stop the train a little bit and I'll talk. Basically, we're going to look at this train at a different perspective. Oh, what the heck, let's throw in a little bit of rail fan trivia while we're at it. We're looking at BNSF 9193 and EMD SD78. In 2001, the cost to produce this locomotive was $1,500,000 to $2,300,000. So the price ranged, averages around $2 million, more or less, to produce one locomotive. So here we go. We got each one, by the way, produces 4,300 horsepower. General Motors, the company that produced this locomotive, is now owned by the Caterpillar company. Now think about this little bit of trivia. BNSF operates 8,000 locomotives or thereabouts. Today we're looking at only one SD78. BNSF has 950 just like it. At the cost of around $2 million each, that would make $1 billion invested in SD78s alone. If they own 8,000 locomotives, imagine the total investment in locomotives alone. I think I'd run out of fingers and toes before I could add it all up. Okay, viewers, I thought I'd stop real quick right here and take a look at this locomotive. One of my jobs for the last 25-30 years I worked at the railroad was adjusting the brakes on the locomotives, especially in the Griffin area and often at other locations. But what we're looking at here, I thought I'd mention it. Not too many people may not know what I'm looking at. You see this little thing right here? I got two arrows indicating a cross piece between the two wheels. If you don't know what that is, and some of you may, but it's a slack adjuster. That's how you adjust the brakes on a locomotive. That thing is lengthens and shortens, has key bolt holes in it that you can take a hammer and a bar and either make it longer and shorter to make your piston, which is up here at the top of the truck side, the proper length. If the piston's too long, it's not getting enough pressure on the brake shoes. On each end of that slack adjuster is a brake shoe that pushes against the wheel. So if it has to extend too far, the piston will bottom out before it puts enough pressure on the wheels to give you the proper stopping power. More than once, engineers have complained to me about, oh, that thing ain't stopping. It ain't stopping worth a darn. I'll go look at it. Find the piston too long usually. pull my truck up there, jump out, and within 15 minutes I got them adjusted. There's a valve on there. You can take the air pressure off of each end of the engine. Get down there on your hands and knees, pull out that key bolt, pry the slack adjuster to the length you want, put the key bolt back in, cut the air brakes back in, and apply the brakes to see what your length of your piston is going to be. There's usually a sign right on the side of the engine, the proper piston length for that particular locomotive. So you got to be somewhere within the ballpark range of the proper piston length, not just on locomotives, but any rail car, to get the proper braking power. That's just a little bit of trivia I wanted to share with you, because I wish I had $1 for every time I have had to get down there on my hands and knees and adjust the brakes. Sometimes you can, rather than adjust the brakes, you look in there and see that the brake shoes are worn out. In that case, you just take your bar and pry the shoe off the wheel, drive out your key bolt, your brake shoe key, stick a new brake shoe up on there, throw the old one away, cut the brakes back in, and that'll shorten your piston. That's just a little bit of Pwalpar trivia. If you want the brakes adjusted on your locomotive, I figure I can afford to come over there and fix it for you. I said, if you got one of these booger bears, you got some money on your hands. You're pretty well off. You can pay me to come over there and adjust your brakes. All right, let's get on with the video. Take a look right here. Next time you're looking at a coal train going by, see that shiny thing sticking out, protruding from the side of the car, a square thing above the arrow there? That is called a hot shoe, and it's rubbed plumb shiny from rubbing on a rail that's on top of the trestle where they dump this coal. It makes an electrical contact that tells the doors to open and shut. It's spring-loaded, and it kind of pops out, keeping pressure on the side of that rail that's going by until an electrical contact opens and closes the door. There's a way you can manually open and close them, but I'm not going to explain that to anybody here on the internet, because they don't need to know that. Somebody be out there dumping the whole train. Anyway, I just thought I'd point that out. If you want to know what that shiny thing is on the side of these air dump coal cars, it's a hot shoe. Just a little bit more Pwalpar trivia.